What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of For the Love of Bodybuilding. I'm your host, Logan Shults. I'm here with my co host, Ian Powell. Ian, how's your last? I think it's been like a month since we recorded an episode, so kind of give me a recap of the last month.
Well, it's been kind of a fucking shit show, honestly. Um, you know, for me in my contest season, we started at like 20 weeks, and then I had about 3 weeks before vacation. Got a really good bit off. I never really got fat this off season. I could actually probably pull up pictures on the monitor behind me. I don't know if it'd actually show up, but didn't actually allow myself to get too fat, so I got up to like 221, 222. But it was like it was pretty good, not bad. So 3 weeks I tightened up pretty fast, and then vacation happened, and vacation was totally fine. I think for most people, if you're far enough out and if you're more advanced like us, where you just or have just a really good understanding about it. Like you can enjoy your time on vacation. Where I didn't really eat bad. I just ate a lot of fish. So I ate a lot of like swordfish,
Mm-hmm.
manchan. Didn't really. I mean, I had some sushi, but mostly just like fresh fish. I always got wherever I got. I didn't really have a burger. I never even had a burger and fries. No, I didn't really have anything heavy. I just had more or less clean food. A lot of it.
Sure.
Really enjoyed it. Still kept my cardio up. I don't really train on vacations. I tell people, for me, I guess it's because I'm in the gym always. I like to just chill the fuck out when I'm on vacation. For me, it's part of a vacation, the mental reset. I'm constantly in the gym. It doesn't actually reset me. So I did my normal cardio, and then it wasn't until the tail end where the stomach bug hit, which we thought it was just a stomach bug. Usually, stomach bugs can usually go away within 48 hours. This was not a normal stomach bug. It got my sister and her fiance first on Monday, and then they were out pretty much. When something like that happens, like you don't really can't really do a whole lot. You're pretty dead. Then my mom got it on Wednesday, and then me and my dad got it the night before we were supposed to fly. So I slept for maybe an hour that night, and then we flew out, and then I was like fever, chills, vomiting, diarrhea for like 10 times for like 7 hours. Thought I was gonna die. And then
Mm-hmm.
flying back, Lydia got it on the way home on the airplane. So by the time we got back, I had slept for like 48 hours, like 2 hours and 48 hours, and probably like three saltines and one body armor to my name. And then I just slept for 2 or 3 days. And the last like 2 weeks, I've been just kind of trying to bounce back from that. So that's been kind of shitty. It's been physical to kind of deal with and also very mental to deal with too because now I'm on a much tighter timeline, so it's like, oh, okay, I lost basically 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Definitely feel a lot better now than I normally do, than I have. It's just it just takes its time. So my last month or so has been kind of like this whole year, just a whirlwind, but we're getting to it. So I don't have any doubts really too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
How about
Uh,
you?
that virus just sounds rough, and what sucks is that I know that everybody on that plane probably also caught it.
Hmm.
Especially if it was spreading so easily like that, you know?
Yeah, well, luckily we were all in the same villa, so it's like we all saw each other. We're all in the same area,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we didn't have separate rooms, but the same area.
Yeah. Not a whole lot's happened in the last month. Nothing that has been, too spectacular. Kind of just continuing to try to pull body weight down, pull some body fat off. Clients are, pushing and working, picking up clients, etc. So I mean, it's kind of all just par for the course type of things. Nothing too interesting. Let's see. I think the most interesting thing is some client work. I have a guy right now, Liam. You know Liam. He is the biggest responder to Clean that I've ever seen.
Nice,
Like I've never introduced 20 micrograms of Clean to somebody, and there is a difference the next day.
good.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
Like, I know that if I just bump his clit up by 20 mics, like he's gonna drop. So
mhm.
it's nice, but it's also like, yeah, just be careful. Don't overdrug him.
Yeah. For those who don't know, Liam is a classic physique bodybuilder, class A. So he's 5 or 6 pounds. So he's got to make weight. So he's like 6 pounds away from it, right? 5, 6.
His low is 187.8. So yeah,
Okay, yeah,
he's,
6
six
pounds over.
pounds away. Um, so yeah, but he's pretty lean at this point. I mean, there's still a little bit off of that low back glutes, but I mean, we're talking about like he's going to be in very good conditioning by then. I know
Mhm.
you guys haven't seen the more recent pictures. But the more like last couple of days, he's sending me check-ins every day because you know, it's needed. So, but yeah, it's good. It'll be great to finally get a guy on stage that is properly
Mhm.
peeled out of his mind.
Killed.
Yep, yeah. So are you still planning on doing North Americans?
Yeah, yeah. I'm still planning
Yeah.
on doing North Americans. We're still gonna push for it. There's always a little bit of hesitation and doubt in my mind, but at the end of the day, I was like, mentality wise, I was like, I can push for it. It's 13 weeks. And I looked. Luckily, I have enough data on myself to see that at 14 weeks out, so the same timeline that I was last year, I was 10 pounds lighter than I am now,
Hmm.
but I'm drastically leaner than I am right now at the weight. So, I'm in a
That's
much
good.
better spot to be at. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the plan. But like I tell everybody that, it's, not the end all be all if you don't make your timeline. It's about chasing the look that you want. Like, if I'm not happy with the look that I'm looking at, I'm not going to do my first national show without having my all time most peeled package. So
Yeah.
there's plenty of other things to do. I'm not married to doing a national show. I'm in Class B, so I see all those Class B boys. We're very jacked division. I really should
Yeah.
be Class A. I think I'm like right at the borderline where it's really annoying. Um,
Are you just
where
over 5'8"?
I'm just under 5'8".
You're just under 5'8"?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's under 5'7".
yeah. So if you're just under 5'8", then you're not really a Class A guy.
Yeah, 5'7" under is Class A. I'm 5'7" and a half,
Oh, okay.
5'7" and a quarter. So I'm at the bottom of Class B. So that's what I mean. I don't get the 204 weigh in.
Yeah,
I
okay.
get the 187.
Yeah, I was thinking that you were closer to the 5'8" mark.
I thought it was
They've
too,
never
but
heighted you there?
and this is what I tell people who are doing weight classes and stuff like that. They measure you fucking differently every single time.
Hmm.
I was 5'8" and a quarter at Texas, Republic of Texas, and then when I did Muscle Beach, I was 5'7" and 3/4. I
Yeah,
was like, well, I don't really know how that works, but everybody heights you differently. I feel like as long as you fit the class, they don't really punish you too much. Maybe at the national level they do, but as long as you're in your class means, they seem to be pretty lenient. I feel like, but then again, getting somebody like 6'8" or even maybe 10 pounds off somebody in a matter of a couple weeks is really not a big deal. So I always have people who are like, "Oh my god, am I going to make the weight cap?" I'm like, if "You're going to make the weight cap."
yeah. That's what
People
I
that don't
keep,
make the weight cap are super jacked, like
yeah.
crazy.
That's what I keep telling Liam. I'm like, we're only 6 pounds away. Like, I could right now just pull your carbs and maybe restrict water, and we're gonna
Yeah, you make that
hit
easily.
that weight cap no problem, right? But today I'm running an experiment with him. I pulled his growth hormone. I want to see how much he drops from just pulling the growth hormone. Because if I can get away with keeping everything the same, pull growth hormone for a day or two, and then just reintroduce it, assuming that he looks good the day after I reintroduce it, I would rather do that than have to restrict further. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's why I always like having it in place because it's an easy tool to pull, and
Mm-hmm.
you can usually get a couple pounds off of them.
Yeah.
It kind of just depends. Some people respond better with it. Some people doesn't really make a big difference. Something that you have to play around with yourself and just
Yeah.
see how you respond with it. Usually, the more highly muscular individuals, and usually the more Caucasian the
Yep.
individuals, you can usually get away with
Yeah.
keeping growth hormone. And last year I kept it in for Matt the whole time and didn't make a difference. That guy does
No.
not get watery.
No, he does not. He's always lean. He's always dry. He
Mm-hmm.
just has that. That's who he is.
It's a
Now,
Caucasian guy.
Yeah, and I mean, you pull the growth hormone, and the reality is that like that growth hormone could be causing that little bit on the glutes and the low back that I'm looking at, right? There may
Yep.
I'm not physically touching him, so there may it may not be fat that's there. It may just be water that's where he's holding it
Hmm.
because of the growth hormone. So we're gonna find out. We'll see how that plays out. But it's interesting and it's nice to have somebody ready in time where I can do that and then know that if it is fat, I can, I already know how to get the rest of it off and it won't take any time. So he's got 4 weeks to go. I don't think he's going to do a national show this year. And
Yeah.
then,
It's been a while since he's competed, so
yeah,
one thing just to get him on stage and get him peeled so he can at least see what that looks like.
yeah. He's communicated to me that he actually wants to move to light heavyweight. That's where he prefers to be. Primarily out of like, he doesn't want to hold himself back. And even though he's already like, he's kind of still at the top end, like of his weight right now. Like he's pretty peeled. He's 6 pounds over. I mean, hell, I was by the time I looked like him, I was fucking 15 pounds under my weight cap.
Yeah, I think that's always such an interesting thing because light heavyweight is like such a
Mm-hmm.
um, such a broad class, and I've seen some absolute fucking
Freaks.
freaks in light heavyweight. So I've always everybody, I think almost every classic guy probably has that, especially the shorter guys like me and Liam. That's always for me. It's always kind of a thought, but I want to like have to be struggling,
Yeah.
really struggling to make my cap before I do that. Because I've seen plenty of people who have done that. Somebody I follow, Austin, did it for nationals where he was like 20 pounds over his classic,
Mm-hmm.
2 days out, 1 day out, and he made weight for that, and then was also did light heavyweights, and he placed first call outs in B and light heavyweights, but he looked drastically better in light heavyweights because he was 10 pounds up. He was very impressive, just peeled out of his mind. Only white guy in that top B classic call
Yeah.
out. So for me, that gives me a yardstick when I see that. I'm like, okay, light heavyweight is literally no joke.
Oh yeah. No,
Um,
you need to be pushing
you be a big boy.
the upper echelon of that class. Yeah. Yeah, and I won't allow him to move until I think that it's absolutely necessary. Until we're
Yeah,
at a point where we're risking his health to make weight, I'm not gonna, make that move.
yeah,
I do think that, I think he could put up a fight at a national show. I don't know that he's ready for a pro card though. It just, kind of depends on who shows up.
oh yeah, yeah. It totally depends on who shows up. Anybody that's listening to this, you can do any plethora of national shows, and you
Yeah.
don't really know who's going to show up. You are going to get way more better competition, but still, you're going to get vastly different levels of tiers of competition at
Hmm.
those national shows. If you wanted to do a light heavyweight at a regional show, light heavyweight in regionals is not really existent. You
Yeah.
could pretty much do okay in there. Once you move up to the national level, it gets the margin for classic and bodybuilding gets fucking really narrow
Yeah.
because it gets really competitive. Um, but yeah, I mean, somebody like Liam's got leverage to do that. So I think y'all are doing the right move by just getting him ready for regional and qualify him and just be able to do more and actually rebound off of the post show and see if he can put on another even 5 pounds of tissue. It goes a long way. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping I gained at least 5 pounds of tissue, but we'll see.
I'm pretty sure you did.
We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah. One of my clients sent me a message the other day. He was like, "Who do you think had a better offseason, Jordan Hutcherson or Joe Palacios?" And I was like, "I'm sorry, I'm going to give you a cop out answer. Um, I don't know until they step on stage
Yeah,
because like the offseason can be very deceiving."
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You don't really know until you step on stage and you can actually look at those
Previous
differences.
versus this year. Yeah.
Yeah, unless you have data and stuff like that where you can kind of like really look back at certain things, but only that individual is going to know that. We're not going to know that
Mm-mm.
until
And so,
we see
unless we're
them on
being
stage.
hyper creepy.
Us, yeah, we're being a stalker.
Yeah.
We're really watching our favorite bodybuilders.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, speaking of that, is there any pro shows coming up, like big pro shows?
Um, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know. I've had a terrible pulse on the pro shows this year and when they are. I know we've
Um,
got USA's in 8 weeks, which means that North Americans is in, you said 13?
yeah, 13. Well,
And
13 next week.
okay.
Uh, Legion. Legion is today,
Okay.
just to let you know. I guess, well, Chicago, interesting. So Just Belt told me Chicago, they're not even having open bodybuilding anymore.
Yeah, I heard that.
And I think that's fucking
It
crazy.
looks like
Just
the
Masters.
the Fuad Abiyad Championships have got some fucking competitors. This
I think,
amateur show.
oh, damn it, that's today. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Class B Classic right now, and these guys look pretty fucking good.
Is it on live stream right now?
No, Paul Lozon posted a video.
Oh, okay, you're on Instagram. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Texas Pro, Chicago Pro. You have Tampa Pro, Texas Pro.
Tampa and
Um,
Texas probably be the next ones then,
Tampa and Texas are going to be the next big ones.
which we don't even know who's competing there.
Texas will probably be pretty stacked. I really want to go to that show. If I don't have anybody in it, or if I don't compete in it, I would love just to go watch that show.
I would love to go watch that show as well. When is Texas?
Um, August 14th, 15th. So
August
I think
14th,
it's
15th.
yeah. So either they'll do Friday and Saturday. I think. I don't know if that's a 2 day show actually. I can't
Oh,
remember. I watched it last year, but I can't remember.
yeah, I want to say amateurs were on
Amateurs are Friday.
Friday. Yeah,
Amateurs are but it
14th,
says
15th.
14, 15
Mm,
on the open category, so maybe
okay,
they do prejudging.
prejudging and then finals.
Yeah,
Interesting.
um, that's very interesting. So is Liam the one coming up soon? Is anybody else you got in the crosshairs for 2026?
I've got J Mike. He is
Oh yeah, Jim.
nine. He's 9 weeks out.
Okay,
We are much further along than we've ever been, so I'm pretty happy with that. But I'm still kind of on his ass to get him peeled.
yeah. Jim Mike
Yeah.
is a min physique class D.
Um. Man, I don't know the men's physique classes to be honest with you.
A B C D E F G.
He's right around that 5'7", 5'8" mark. So
Oh, he might be C.
I think it's C.
Yeah, I think he's C.
Um. I don't know those categories,
Oh,
man.
we were like A B C D E F G.
um. But I do know that for his, what's interesting is like the lowest weight I've ever gotten him to is like 189. I think for him to be really peeled, he's got to be like 182, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, similar to Liam, so that's actually kind of cool. You have two guys that are roughly the same weight that need to be roughly the same weight
Yeah,
with very different looks.
very different looks. Um, so I think he needs to get down to that one like 82 mark to be really peeled, and then he wants to do North Americans as well. So as of right now, I'm planning to be in North Americans, but he's gonna do the Lila Brada first. Yeah, I believe they're just a couple of weeks apart.
4 weeks.
4 weeks, yeah, that's what I thought. So we'll see how
Oh,
that
man.
goes. But hmm?
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool if we're all up there for North Americans because he to compete on the same day I did.
Yeah, as of right now, I'm intending to be there. I need to start keeping an eye on flights. But yeah, I'm intending to be there.
Yeah, that's another thing I tell people. So when it comes to uh, competing for shows and registering, I don't tell anybody really to register until they're about like maybe 4 weeks out if they're ready ahead of
Yep,
time. You know,
yep,
2 or 3 weeks out at the latest. But definitely, some people are like 16 weeks out and asking to book their flight, and I'm like, no, or book their things. I'm like, no, I haven't even done that. I'm not going to do that. Um,
no,
I'm going to wait until I'm ready for it that I want to look, and then I can pay. If it's a little more
yeah.
expensive,
What happens when
well,
you
then,
have a tragedy at 12 weeks out, or
yeah,
a big life event that happens to you at 12 weeks out?
that's
You're
what I
gonna
tell
lose
people
all
all the
that
time.
money. You're gonna lose all that money.
Yeah, you don't know what's going to happen. You could be on point. You could be maybe
Yeah,
fourth stage, and then you could get a norovirus 3 weeks out, and then
yeah,
you can't eat for 2 weeks.
yeah.
push it back. But if you already spend the expenses and you don't have refunds or whatever it is,
Hmm.
you lose all that money. So
These
it's not
shows,
really
these
worth
shows
it.
aren't going to refund you your money.
No, they don't care about you.
No, they don't care about you. You might
Yeah,
be able to be able to buy a refundable plane ticket.
yeah.
Um, and
Maybe hotel if
obviously
you get
you can
insurance.
cancel your hotel and you may or may not be able to cancel your tan. I don't know, but
And
you're still
Airbnbs
gonna,
are more finicky too. So if you get an Airbnb, like they want you to cancel like 2 weeks
yeah,
out.
you got to have plenty of time. So
Yeah. So don't rush your um, finances when it comes to
yeah.
that. Don't start booking shit ahead of time. Let your coach decide that for you, and don't do it on your own. That's
Hmm.
definitely a rule of thumb. Don't just start planning shit ahead of. Even if your coach says you're going to do this show, like ahead of time, wait till they confirm it
Yeah.
until like it says okay. They'll usually ask you, make sure your registration is in check before you do that. So that way you can actually present the best possible
Mm.
package.
100%.
Um,
100%. I can't
so yeah,
tell some, yeah, we can't be like, we can't preach this, be willing to move your show date, but book your show fucking 12 weeks out. Like, you know?
no, don't
So,
do that.
what were you about to say?
I was gonna say, yeah. So I have Matt coming up. Matt can do any show he wants to, basically from 4 weeks out till whenever.
Yeah.
I think he wants to do maybe the Houston Pro.
Okay.
Only Masters 40 plus, but I said, who cares? You still get to at least show your competition and just see how you measure. And then there's one after North Americans. There's one up there. I think it's Masters Worlds,
Okay.
whatever it is. It's a Sunday. It's after North Americans, and then obviously there's a San Antonio show here, a San Antonio Pro show, that Masters 50. So he has multiple options. I have another guy, Dean Ford. He's also a Masters 50 plus guy. He's going to be doing USA's, I believe. What's the one in 6.5 weeks?
USA's.
Um, what's that?
You said USA's?
The one, no, it's 4th of July weekend. I always forget the name of that one. Universe.
Oh, Universe. Okay. Yeah.
Universe. Yeah, Universe. Going for his, he's had multiple attempts. He's worked with some pretty high level coaches,
Hmm.
but he's very happy with where we're at. So, I've been doing this guy's training for a while here. And then, about like 15 weeks out, from when he said he was starting prep, I was looking at him. I was like, are you, are you sure you're ready to do this? So when I got him at 14 weeks out, we had a conversation. Um, at 14 weeks out, he was 265. He's a big boy. He's a
Okay.
big boy. And his last stage weight with Justin Harris was 225,
Okay.
224, 225, 224. And, he even still knows that, like, Justin peaked him like crazy to make him look better, but he knows he was still a little
That he
a good
still
ways
had
off.
fat to lose.
Still have to go. But,
Yeah.
Justin's really smart and knows what he's doing. So now, as of 6 weeks, 6.5 weeks out, because it's like a Wednesday, so it's really weird,
Yeah. July
timing.
2nd through the 4th, Universe
Yeah, yeah,
in New
that one.
Jersey. Yeah.
And so now he's 225. I got 40 pounds off of him in about 7 weeks,
Damn.
which is crazy.
That's crazy.
Very
That's a
crazy.
lot of weight.
That's a lot of weight. Yeah.
I
So I
mean,
was telling him, look,
you're talking about 6 pounds a week.
yeah. I told him, I was like, look, I don't normally do this, but I really want this for you more than anything. So I'm going to push you pretty hard, and I'm going to get you to where you need to be, and we're gonna get you there. So he's already at his stage weight he was last year, and so
So
we
he's
know
got,
we can comfortably pull another 10 pounds off of him, and he'll be in
yeah.
much better shape than he was last year.
So he's got
Um,
7 more weeks.
yeah, about 6, 7 more
Yeah.
weeks
Now
to
you can
go.
slow it down a little bit and
I can slow it down. I can start having the more of the fun stuff come in because
yeah.
not a lot of the fun stuff I was able to do for a while. I just needed to get him down. But very much looking forward to him. Great dude. So happy to have that because when anybody works with me, I really just want them to be happy. If someone's really not happy,
Yeah.
not really enjoying the process, and not very happy, it does affect me to a good extent. I want them to be enjoying the process and love the process and to be really happy
Hmm.
overall um, with everything. So I've been watching this guy for a while, and I wanted him to do really well. So that one's a big important one. That's my first competitor, really. I don't have anybody until then. Um, which I always tell people is like, if you're doing these earlier shows, like the shows that I've had previously this year or right around now, you have to be pretty much dieting from the beginning of the new year, or just be, yeah, a freak like Matt, where you don't
Yeah.
really
Have
gain
to
a bunch
diet
of
very
body
much.
fat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's why I said Matt can do any show he probably wants to. But I always try to have people give people their input and let the athlete do what the shows that they really want to,
Hmm.
based off if their timeline is acceptable.
Yeah.
Most of them have acceptable timelines, but there you do get those clients too. That sometimes they want to do a show in like 14 weeks, and they need to diet for like 6 months before they even start doing
You're like,
contest.
zero chance, bro.
It's like, I'll tell you right away, you have zero chance. I'm sure you can hit up XYZ and a number of
Hmm.
people that might want to do it for you, but I don't want that
Yeah.
for anybody.
Yeah.
In the case of Dean, he was already an experienced competitor. He has a shit ton of muscle. I know he can shape up pretty quick. He just has to have the right levers pulled. But for most people, especially if it's your first timer, just get in good shape. I always tell people all the time, it's like, just get in good shape before competition is not for you to fix your weight loss issues.
No. No. Yeah, I've seen that happen a lot with women, especially. They'll use contest prep as a reason to
Lose
shed the
weight.
body fat that they put on. Yeah,
Yep.
because they allow themselves to get way too fat. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
which is a slippery slope.
it's a
Slippery
very
slope.
slippery slope. But I mean, bodybuilding can do that. By and large, if you don't have a good coach, if you don't have somebody walking you through the steps and kind of guiding you, right? It can be tough.
Yeah, if you have demons, whether that be food demons, body dysmorphia demons,
Hmm.
bodybuilding will make it way worse.
Yep.
So everybody, before they do a contest prep, make sure you mentally are in a good place, because it will definitely challenge you, and especially if you don't have a good coach that is willing to communicate with you on that level. A lot of coaches really struggle, I feel like, in that department, especially if you do a lot of popular online coaches.
Hmm.
It's hard to get that sort of individual responsiveness and accountability. You could end up in a pretty rough spot. So, always take charge of your own health at the end of the
Yep.
day. And that includes mental health for sure, especially
Yeah.
when it comes to this stuff.
100%. I mean, I've seen like, you know, uh, and I think that when you start producing results at a high level, right? You just get busier, and at some point you no longer can take 20, 30 text messages a day from clients, right? A client can't be texting you every day with stupid stuff. And so it makes less time to deal with those people that need the extra touch, right? And so for those people, somebody who is less busy is always going to be a better choice for you. You know, it is what it is. You just got to
Yeah.
find somebody that fits your needs.
Yeah. Find somebody that fits your needs. And if you can search relatively local for you, it always is better. I know there's a lot of online people out there, and there's a lot of good online amateur coaches, but they're usually really expensive, and you have to. Sometimes you might not get what you might think
Yeah.
out of those coaches.
Yeah.
You kind of have to earn your stripes some of the time with those coaches as well. They might adhere to you, but it's also you gotta you have to earn your stripes for a very high level coach. I feel like, to be able to get the most out of them. I feel like if you're just starting out, don't there's no reason to dump into like one of these coaches that charges like 500-600 a month.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know,
I've heard some very interesting things as of late as to what some coaches are doing. And I'm just like, why? Like, what is your justification for doing things like this? How is your communication so poor?
oh yeah,
Oh man,
it's a shit show,
bad.
and especially now with AI. I can't tell you how many times I've seen random people that I somewhat know on Instagram. They'll post something and then they'll screenshot like what chat responds to them, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, jacking or whatever AI tool can gaslight the shit out of you." By the way, you can
Yes.
manipulate the fuck out of it if you're like
Mm-hmm.
really sneaky about it, even if you don't subconsciously you'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
So don't rely on AI to do any sort of coaching for you.
No.
If you're self coach, especially, don't give in to that. You can play around with prompts and just play around with what it says, but be very careful because a lot of those AI responses are very bad.
No.
They're they obviously they can't take you what you actually look like. So
I use
um,
chat for facts and facts only.
yeah, or deep research. If I'll type in something for deep research and tell it to do deep research me,
Yep.
go off for 5 minutes and come back, and it'll have a bunch of PubMed
Yeah, yeah,
articles.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Like we're
Yeah,
looking at, we don't want
knowledge.
chat to have any leeway to say, well, I think this is what's best.
Yeah, decision making. Don't
Yeah,
let
we chat
ChatGPT
doesn't
do
decision
that
make. Yeah.
or make your decisions.
It
But
just
I see a
makes
lot of
your
people do it.
you should just be using it to make your like I used it the other day. Now, I could have figured out how to do this on my own, but it would have taken me twice the amount of time. Actually, I used it twice for a similar thing. One, I broke the mirror off of my car, right? I took it to a mechanic. They wanted to charge me $1,000. I found the mirror on Amazon for $60. Literally the same part, the same
Yeah,
thing, right? And so I could have figured out how to take the door panel off and how to replace that mirror on my own, but chat gave me specific step by step instructions and it saved me probably an hour and a half of figuring out how to do everything. And it ended up costing me $75 and 40 minutes of my time to do.
yeah,
Another instance is I got instructions on how to fix my microwave. Cost me a $20 part and like an hour of my time
yep.
because it told
I think
me what to check for. I checked
yeah,
for it, pulled it out, and bam.
I think a lot of those things are definitely like great for it to use. I'm a recent new homeowner too, so like learning how to do little shit like that.
Hmm.
You can just ask it a question, then telling me to like I'm a visual, I'll ask it to like find YouTube videos for me and pull it up so I can actually see somebody doing it.
Hmm.
Um, so it's a useful tool, but like AI will never replace coaching, like because especially bodybuilding coaching.
No.
Um, it's something that you're gonna need, some more attention to detail. So always do your research locally. You can always listen to what people say word of mouth, but it's always a good idea to take a look
Yeah.
at multiple people and multiple, even if they do consults, talk to them,
Yeah.
see which one you vibe with the most, see which one you understand the most. There's a coach for everybody out there. There's not one size shoe fits
No.
all.
No.
There's a plethora of coaches out there, and just make sure that you trust they have the experience and the credentials to back it up, so they're not just going off because you don't never know. A lot of these coaches may be using AI for their decisions as well, because that's just the world we live in. It's
Hmm.
being used in every business nowadays anyways, so just be mindful of those things,
Yep.
and most importantly just get along with your coach and communicate with them.
Yeah.
Don't We don't know what you don't tell us,
100%. Yeah. So,
so can't be doing.
um, I think that about wraps it up for today. Uh, until next time, guys.